Hey guys, I'm here with Kathleen Reily, the chronic anxiety coach. Hi Kathleen.
Hi, how's it going, Matt? Wonderful to talk to you today.
It's going really well. Thank you for being here. How should we do this? Should we face each other like this? How does that look in the that looks pretty good. Don't worry, I'll delete all this nonsense. Yeah.
Okay. All right, yeah, this is fine. This works for me.
Okay, that works for me as well. Where should we look?
Well, can I just have a conversation?
Let's just have a conversation. All right, this is a conversation series.
So what's the agenda for today?
Well, I brought you in here, Kathleen, because I really like your promotional strategies.
Okay.
We've been friends for a bit now, for about since April, I would say, and we've just been exchanging notes on how we both operate our businesses. And what I like about you is you have this promotional strategy that seems very organized, and you pull out these scripts that you do for direct outreach. And I just want to hear all about everything you do promotion-wise, and more about your business, your chronic anxiety coaching business, how you came up with that, your story behind that, all of that. I want to cover all of it.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah.
Let's start with how did you come up with chronic anxiety coaching?
Oh, well, that is something that I struggled with many years ago. So for about 4 years, started in my early 20s, I started having weekly panic attacks and chronic anxiety and stress, and it was
Sorry, not funny at all.
Actually, it happens. Being funny and silly really helps to heal. Anyway, so then after about 4 years, I started working with concepts in neuroplasticity, right? Positive neuroplasticity and healing the brain. And so as I worked more and more with different really effective strategies in neuroplasticity, building new pathways in the higher brain, and basically creating a new habit of calm, safety, resilience, and then in turn happiness, greater happiness. It really is a habit that you can build, and it's a mindset that you can build.
When you say neuroplasticity, what exactly do you mean by that?
What I mean is the brain has an incredible capacity to change and grow and expand. So there are, incredible case studies and examples of people who had, chronic illnesses, like, for example, issues with balance in the inner brain. And so what you can actually do is train the brain to assume those functions in a different part, right?
I see. So you're not owned by these functions, but you're have some space from them.
Exactly.
Was it obvious for you when you decided to make your business? Was chronic anxiety coaching an obvious niche that you came up with, or did you have to do some reflecting?
Yeah, I started out just as a integrative nutrition coach, but that wasn't really my passion. I wanted to.
Did you do the integrative nutrition school?
I did, in Manhattan. But what I wanted to do later was really specialize, of course, because that would allow for my practice to be more effective, and it would allow me the opportunity to really solve a difficult challenge for a particular population of people. And I knew exactly what it was like to go through those daily challenges of shortness in breath and anxiety attacks and that kind of thing. And so it was something that I could really relate to, and it's something that I had healed myself.
So it really came from a place of your experience. And did you have any was there any insecurity or uncertainty that you had around defining that niche, or did you feel like you were spreading yourself too thin by going there, or did it feel like it it was just right?
Oh, it felt just right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't any, concern about whether or not I was going to be really excellent at my craft, whether or not I was really going to be able to create and design a program that does heal chronic anxiety.
Because you had gone through all this, and you.
Yeah. And I went through a few certification programs in positive neuroplasticity. And so and then I had created and worked with other people, testing different strategies with them, and so I knew it was going to be really effective and it was going to work.
That's great. Yeah, really came from a place of your experience, and then you just knew you can design a program that would work for their clients because you had experienced the same problem yourself. Yeah. And I want to hear about. I know you've only recently started, relatively.
About a year ago.
Yeah. And I want to hear about some of your promotional strategies that you've used to get your first few clients.
Yeah, so those strategies have, morphed, of course, over time.
Yeah.
But the most effective one that I've found is I do all of my marketing on a little bit on LinkedIn, but mostly on Facebook. I've built up a really, really strong, base of individuals who are, really sort of inside. Okay, I'm gonna have to pause here.
Just keep going.
Okay. So I've built up a really wonderful base of people who are interested in my work, and so.
How did you I know something really interesting about what you said. You've told me before that you don't want to do Facebook ads because you're selling stress. You're selling stress, chronic stress reduction, and you feel like coming at them with all these Facebook ads is just making them more stressful. So you didn't like the whole strategy of building your business with Facebook ads and doing all these complicated sales funnels that would kind of stress people out and put all this urgency to them.
The incessant following up. So basically what I do, so what I do is I've built up a really strong network of potential clients through Facebook interest groups, and then what I do from there is I reach out to them. Initially by sending a message, hey, we're part of the same group. This is why I'm, adding you. But then also I participate a lot in conversations inside the group, and I post really informative pieces of information.
Nice.
And if someone is really interested in that, and I can tell based on their content and their conversation within that group that they would be a really good fit, then I reach out to them personally and I say, hey, look, I saw you commented on my, bit about hyper fearful patterns and, and agoraphobia or something.
Yeah.
And then, they would respond, yeah, I did, and then, and then I would, oh, that's wonderful. And then I'd ask them follow-up questions that help you to figure out whether or not they would be a really good client.
And you have when you're in these Facebook groups, are you just responding naturally to what people are talking about, or do you have scripts that you use and then customize to respond to things to make it easier to reply to things?
Yeah, no, I have a custom script.
Even in the Facebook conversations.
Everything's custom. I mean, if you want to build a company and really scale up the number of interactions and communications that you have, you need to have some kind of step A, step B, step C.
Interesting, yeah.
Otherwise, I mean, it's...
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier to scale the ability to have one-to-one conversations. Yeah, totally.
So everything's a template.
Yeah.
And then I'll
customize it.
If I need to.
Yeah, interesting. And then do you have a system for how many conversations you participate in on Facebook a day, and how many follow-ups you do, or is it how does that work?
So I do at least 30. I build my network every day with at least 30 new contacts, potential clients.
Awesome. So that can come from anywhere, I assume? Facebook groups, and then also blog commenting.
Yeah. Not blog commenting.
Yeah. You used to do that, did you not do that anymore?
I still do that.
Yeah.
I comment on 3 blogs a day, and then I comment on usually like 3 posts within a Facebook group a day, and then reach out to 30 to 40 people.
Nice. So that's like in addition, blog commenting in addition to all this other reaching out. Because blog commenting, that's something in my mind. I was like, oh, that's just like a 2008 strategy or a tactic. But you said you got a client through it, so I mean, which is awesome. That some of like the oldest internet marketing tactics can still work today.
I think it's based on what is the issue that you're really working with. If it's a deeply emotional, sensitive issue, people are very much going to respond to, because when you comment on a blog, it goes straight to that person's inbox, that email inbox.
True. And usually if they're blogging about something, like especially in today's age, they really put a lot of thought into what they're talking about, and your reply is also really thoughtful. Compared to a tweet, it's just like a couple words, and they're not going to really, it's not really that thoughtful, like what they're putting out into it.
Yeah, I don't use Twitter. Or, I mean, I'm thinking about using Instagram, but they're both really restrictive.
Yeah, for what you want to do. Yeah, it's also because you're going for more in-depth relationships, I think. And so, interesting. I want to go back to that 30 people a day. So you have a system for you add 30 contacts into your system. And what does that mean to add a contact?
Well, that just means add a friend.
Oh, add a friend. Okay.
And not all of them accept me. Probably 20 out of 30.
Okay.
Maybe 18 out of 30.
So you friend 30 people on Facebook? Yeah. All Facebook, no LinkedIn or nothing?
I used to do LinkedIn, but the
market wasn't for you?
Yeah. So.
Nice.
So yeah.
Nice. I mean, that's awesome, man. And then I've noticed that you, your outreach scripts are really sophisticated. Like you have if you respond, say this if they're talking about this. If they say this, then you say this. If they say, let's all these if thens, and then you have all these different scripts for what to say. Can you speak about that a little bit?
Yeah. So if, for example, someone is, the initial outreach question is one of 2 options. Hi, Deborah.
Deborah, the classic chronic stress person's name.
Wonderful to, hope you're doing well. I'm reaching out to you because we're both part of the same anxiety support group. Hope all is well, Kathleen. That's initial response to A, and then B is, I saw you commented on my post. How long have you been dealing with chronic anxiety? And then based on their response, most people dive right into, I've been dealing with it for years, and and it's been difficult, and then from there, what are your strategies? Deborah says my strategies are, maybe 1 or 2, but they haven't been very effective. Oh, interesting. Okay, so where do you want to be? If you because
you don't go for the offer right away is what I'm hearing.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, God no. Yeah, it's like you have to really warm up that relationship and build a relationship, and you're probably not linking to anything until like the 5th or 6th contact, really. We're not or linking or asking for anything.
I don't even.
You don't link to anything.
Yeah. I would only present my offer once that person, he, she, or I have really established a strong communication line, and then also once I really understand, where they want to be, whether or not they're interested in the program at all. So
I call that like relationship-based selling. Like you have to build rapport and trust, and then selling feels natural and easy because you really understand the person, and you know how to respond to their needs, and they know that they understand, they feel understood as well. And then selling is just like, hey, this is something that solves your problem.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like sleazy or anything because like it's just natural.
It's not sleazy because I know that I can solve their problem. And I know that I would be making their life a lot better.
Yeah. That's great to hear. And I really like some of the things you say resonate with me a lot about you not wanting to be like, you're not wanting to give them all these like high pressure sales like tactics, like get them on the phone and like have this pre-recorded script and then like end with like some really intense like urgency scarcity thingy.
And I mean, first and foremost, I wouldn't do that because I hate it when people do that to me.
Yeah, it's really stressful.
It's really stressful, and it makes you feel like you can't possibly heal without that person. You know? And then second of all, it's just for that very reason, it's stressful, and I'm not going to be an anxiety coach and then create anxiety for my potential client. You know?
So how does a sale work? Is this a natural offshoot of your building a relationship with this potential client?
Yeah, the sale happens on the call, of course.
Right. But your sales call, what is that like? They're actually really rewarding conversations. Hi, thank you so much for your time. Where are you calling from? I really want to get a clear idea of what your, most difficult day is like, and then what your best day is like. Talk to me more about what your strategies have been to overcome this issue. Have you been able to overcome the issue? And then, but usually these questions, I used to have like a strictly formatted script. But usually these questions lead to really long answers about history and past, and then like you're having a really deep conversation with them. That's how like when I was offering like done for you one-on-one. That's what mine would be like too. Like it would be like I had a script, then I would never use it. I would like have a real conversation with the person, and then that would like lead to a sale most of the time.
Exactly. Yeah. So it gets a little bit difficult toward the end,
because then you got to transition to price, and that's hard.
Transition to money, and most of the time people don't want to buy. So then you have to like. If they'd be a really excellent client, then, usually you can really, I have a really good strategy for getting them to commit to some kind of retainer or initial fee.
Like you have some different payment options and plans, and like it seems like you're empathetic and flexible enough to like make a plan that works for them.
Exactly. Yeah. So,
where do you see the future of your business in like 6 to 12 months?
6 to 12 months. Well, I see, I definitely, I would say every 2 or 3 months, I'm usually making changes within, the structure of my program. I see, significant growth in terms of, client base. So I'll make some changes. I mean, right now I do, individual coaching sessions, but I think that within the next 6 months, I can see, an easy, 10 to, I would say, 10 to 15 individual client increases per month.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That would be amazing. So anyway, so that's my plan. And then as a result, I would have to restructure my coaching sessions.
Yeah. Would you ever want to do like make it into a course, like some sort of
it's already a course. It's already a course.
Right.
But I mean,
it more like hands off.
To a certain extent, but I always
but you also want the personal touch. That's how I feel as well. I wanted to ask you also about if you had like life coaches and other related coaches are just starting out, like if you had any advice for them who maybe have no clients and you want to help them go from like 0 to like a couple clients, their first few clients, what advice would you give to those people who are just starting out?
Well, that's a good question. I would say that if you have to sign 1 or 2 free clients or low cost clients, because the testimonials are extremely valuable.
They really are. Testimonials are so valuable. And, you know, like when you're starting out, like what really does it matter if you make a few sales? Like that doesn't really mean anything. It's much better to have a bunch of testimonials and social proof and like test your service out.
Exactly. And you have to make sure that what you're selling is really effective. So you can do that by taking a couple of low cost, or, you know, ideally low cost. Honestly, giving your services away for free is likely to end in a very it's likely to end in, you know, attracting clients who are not fully dedicated. So maybe like a $500 program. And then additionally, just get your face, get your offer out there. Down the road, if you can afford it, hire someone who really knows what they're doing, and someone who specializes in, you know, building that brand and marketing and attracting clients. Because it's typically life coaches are really good in one area and not in another. So I'm trying to help life coaches round out the area, like marketing a little more, because a lot of the initial instinct is like, I hate marketing, I don't like it. Like I like coaching people, and I'm trying to help them enjoy marketing and have it be like a fun activity that they look forward to. And that's what I think real like authentic marketing should be like, is like you actually like doing it, like you're writing content, you're creating content because it's fun to you, or you're doing an interview, and that's exciting. I want it to be like, that's my ideal sort of marketing, is it doesn't even feel different from coaching itself, from like what you're doing itself. So guys, that was Kathleen Reily, the chronic anxiety coach. Do I have that right? Okay. And thanks so much for taking the time to listen to this. If you have any questions, you can find Kathleen where? KathleenReily.com. REILY, Kathleen with a K. Yeah, and is there anything else you want to like leave this audience with? Definitely, you know, as you craft your offer, as you carve your position in the market as a life coach, make sure that, you know, there's definition, there's something that sets you apart. Distinction, right? Totally. So, you know, read up on how you can do that. Yeah. Thanks so much, Kathleen. Sure. Thank you.